All right, find the perimeter of the rectangle. Here is the rectangle, okay, and you can drag the rectangle around. You can also rotate it like that. Now there's a little plus sign right there. It might be hard to see, but everything that you do, it does about that plus sign. So you can rotate it, you can make it grow or shrink by dragging it towards the rectangle, it shrinks. Towards the plus sign, away from it grows. Okay, like that. You can also move it by turning, if you turn off either of these buttons, then you can drag it around. Okay, you could also use the arrow keys that are on the screen. If you're on an iPad, that's the easiest way to do that. Use the keyboard, the keys that are on the screen. If you're on a computer, then you can just use your keys on your keyboard. Okay, so I'm just going to rotate that a little bit more, and you can use the keys on your keyboard to rotate as well. And there we are. Okay, so I want to find out the perimeter of this rectangle. So to find the perimeter, I'm just going to add up the distances around the outside. That's the perimeter. Okay, you're marching around the outside. You're guarding the perimeter. You're walking the outside, and you're adding up the distances. Okay, so the perimeter is the distance around the outside of any shape. So I'm just going to add the length to the width to the length to the width. But that's kind of a slow way of doing it. I'm just going to, what's going to be easier instead of doing these things twice is I'm just going to do the length plus the width and then double it. All right, it's a lot simpler. You don't need to memorize or know this formula, okay, because the perimeter is just adding up the outside lengths, and that's it. All right, so I take, so my next step is 2 times the length plus the width. The length is 25.5 plus 9.3 is the width, and I double that. Okay, so on my handy dandy calculator, I'm going to do 25.5 plus 9.3 equals, and then times 2. Okay, 69.6 meters. Okay, and that's it. So then we go back to the program and we enter that. So 69.6 meters, 69.6, and make sure you're putting in the correct units. And there you go. Okay, and that's it for finding the perimeter of a rectangle. Let's look at another shape. Okay, here we're being asked to find the area of the parallelogram. So I'm just going to rotate this shape a little bit. Okay, so that my height is perpendicular to the base. So this is the base, this is the slant height, and the top is identical to the bottom, so we call this the base as well, and we call that the slant height. So these two sides are both 8.8, and the base and the top, or the two bases, are both 11.5. Okay, the height is 3.2, but that doesn't come into the perimeter because it's not part of the outside, so we're just adding up the outsides. Okay, for the parallelogram, we're just going to add up the distances around the outside. Right, so we're looking at this base plus the slant height plus that base and that slant height. All right, but it's going to be a little bit easier just to say it's, you know, base plus slant height and then double it. All right, so 2 times base plus slant height. Okay, so the base is 11.5, the slant height is 8.8, and it's handy dandy calculator time. So I'm just going to do, I'm going to do it exactly the way it's written here. Usually what I do is I do the 11.5 plus the 8.8, press equals, and then multiply by 2. But I'm just going to do it exactly this way. 2 times, open bracket, 11.5 plus 8.8. Close the bracket. Okay, that's 20.3. And then when I press equals, that gets doubled to 40.6. And there we go, 40.6. And the units are decameters, okay, because it's a length. All right, and that's it. So let's go back to the program and put that in. So 40.6 decameters. Yay. All right, let's go and have a look at another shape. All right, we're being asked to find the perimeter of the triangle. And this is a bit of an annoying shape because the height is right up on top of one of the side lengths. So I'm going to rotate until I can see both. Okay, so the height is 28.8 and the side length is 29. Okay, so I'm just going to rotate it so I can see both clearly. It's hard to find that point. There we are, right there. So I'm just going to add up the sides on the outside. So the perimeter is going to be 37 plus 29 plus 21.8, and that's 87.8 meters. So 87.8 meters. And that's it. All right, so stay tuned for part 2 of perimeter. Have a good day.